What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. Live Flightsim Gaming. Today we are sitting on the ground here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we're flying to Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are flying to the new Flightsim Studios, Minneapolis, St. Paul Airport. Initially, this flight was supposed to be flown with Air Canada. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, we are flying Delta today. We are in the E-170. This flight was supposed to be scheduled with Air Canada E-175 aircraft. Problem is, the livery that I had installed for this aircraft just doesn't seem to want to work with the aircraft. It doesn't have any jet sounds or any call-outs or any like cockpit cabin sounds, so I decided to scrap that idea. This flight is flown by Delta, generally in the E-175 from Toronto to Minneapolis. The Flightsim Studios E-175 doesn't have a Delta livery, and again, getting a Delta livery from Flightsim.to for the E-175 didn't work, so we are in the E-170. It is what it is. I don't know if that has to do with the most recent update with this aircraft. But anyway, we move on from that. It's kind of weird though. You can purchase some liveries for this aircraft for the E-170. Both aircraft came with default livery from Flightsim Studios, but with no Air Canada. And I find that odd because if I'm not mistaken, Air Canada was the first airliner to purchase the E-175 aircraft. So, a little disappointing I can't fly Air Canada, but that's okay. We're here. We're getting this flight done. We are doing the giveaway today. We're giving away this aircraft. It's bundled with the E-175 from myself. I'm not sponsored by Sim Market or by Flightsim Studios or by anybody. This is something that I generally do to on this channel to my community. It's kind of just a thank you for being part of this community. So we are giving away the aircraft. We're gonna do it once we get into Minneapolis. We have a scheduled block time of about an hour and 45 minutes, so once we get to the gate, we'll go ahead and do that giveaway. To enter that giveaway, you had to comment in the giveaway video, and what I normally do is I use a YouTube comment generator to generate the comment or the winner that will win the aircraft. So yeah, that's kind of how that's going to happen. If you want to fast forward to the end of the video, by all means. I got GSX doing GSX things. This aircraft does work with this livery. This is a default livery, so I should not have any problems flying this aircraft to Minneapolis. But anyway, let's get inside. Let's get things rocking and rolling here. Some new things that you might see here with the ground services. We have some visuals here. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Some engine, covers and all that crap. I don't really care for it. The flight model does feel great with the aircraft still some system problems. We'll go ahead and we'll load up the aircraft that way. A new thing here, my bad. Send to McDo. You can send this information to the McDo. We'll do that momentarily. Other than that, because I've been trying to get this video off all weekend, couldn't really figure out what was causing my problems. I now have figured out what it is, and I just want to get the aircraft up in the air, just so I can get this video out in time. We'll go ahead. Transponders going over to TAR8. We're going to put in our nav frequency for Minneapolis. We are expecting 30 left, so we'll go ahead and tune for that. Perfect. Route tab here. Routes. Destination, Kilo Mike Sierra Papa. We are SkyWest 4117. So we're SkyWest 4117. Real world flight, by the way. Again, it's not in the E-175, not in the E-170. But I really wanted to do this flight out of Toronto. It's been a while since we've been here. It's my hometown. And yeah, I just want to showcase a little bit more. We are departing off of runway 05 today on the Ursal 4 departure, Zohan transition. We'll go ahead and apply that. Populated, fantastic. For the arrival, we are expecting 30 left, the ILS 30 left. We're going to do Giku transition on the Muscle 3 approach. sorry, it's the idiom transition on the Muscle 3 approach via Giku. And that should all be in here. Fantastic. I've already done a practice flight, not in this aircraft. E-175, unfortunately. So we're going to send McDo. This is the new feature. You can send this information. It comes over to this, the first officer, McDo. And one thing I noticed that's different is it actually puts its takeoff and landing fuel numbers in here. So not what I had learned off of 737NG driver. But we're going to roll with the flow. We'll plug that in. Sim brief has us climbing up 34,000 feet. Average cruise winds 290, 102. It's going to be a pretty big headwind. Zero fuel weight 30197. And we got our fuel in there. CG 18.6, 18.5, 3.6 on the trim. Bada bing, bada boom. Perf tab, takeoff tab, runway heading 057. It's dry. And the winds I think are 135 at 5. I'm going to triple check. 130 at 3. Fantastic. Okay, so I believe it's already set this for me. I'm just going to click everything anyways, just in case if it doesn't set it. Takeoff tab and our V speeds. 137, 41, 43. And then 197 on that. Boy, I'm not going to click in any of those. Takeoff pitches, 10 degrees. Come over to the climb tab here. Transalt 18,000 and 18,000 on the descent. That's a little ding for us. Auto brake RTO. Let's go ahead and set up the rest of our stuff here. QNH 3043. We're climbing up to 5,000 feet here. 057 on the heading. And passenger doors open, so we're going to come up top. So all the camera views got messed up since this update. So I had to reconfigure certain camera views. Come over to the ground here. We're going to go ahead and close our door. And we're just going to wait for the GPU. Sorry, the APU to come alive here. Bleed APU valve is open. Fantastic. So we'll come up top here. GPU, it's asking or saying it's available. We'll go ahead and disconnect from there. And then what we'll do is GSX, we'll go ahead and request pushback. No anti-ice. Fly Tampa, Toronto International, beautiful airport. We are departing off of Bravo 12. So where the rear-wheel flight last departed from, or
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Pushed from. So try to keep things as close to real world as possible. A couple things that I was having with the Air Canada livery. I wasn't having the V-speed callouts. I wasn't having altitude callouts. Takeoff config. When you clicked on that, it didn't say anything. It might be an issue with the livery and the update. So we'll have to watch out for that. I'm hoping Flightsim Studios, considering they do pretty much all their scenery is Canadian airports, I'm hoping they put out a Canadian livery for this aircraft. Air Canada Express, or Jazz, does these flights in the E-175, so is what it is. But yes, giving away this aircraft. Hope everybody that has purchased this aircraft is enjoying it as much as I am. I know the flight model is fantastic. You know, systems, you know, it is what it is. What can you do? Hopefully they'll work on things and, you know, get up to speed, as well as with the E-190, 195 aircraft coming out. Hopefully the VNAV will come out by then. Not holding my breath. Not counting my chickens, but, you know. Nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push.
Parking brakes released. Electric pump A can come on. And
Completed and brakes are set.
engine number 2. Yeah, all my cockpit camera positions were all messed up, so I had to fix that. I was also having, we'll see if I experienced it on this flight with this default livery, but I was having issues with, I guess the cockpit was kind of, the camera was shaking around. I don't know if, I know they've updated or tweaked some of the takeoff camera visuals or camera shaker for the aircraft, but yeah, I was having issues even at cruising altitude. It almost looked like, you know, we were in turbulence with how much cockpit shaking we had, so hopefully that gets resolved as well, because in my flight that I did do, I almost felt nauseous. Very nauseous. Engine number 1, firing it up. I also fixed my brakes when I was applying. So I have the Logitech rudder pedals, and I found out on a forum for the reason for the braking problem. So braking, anytime you touch the brake pedals, it would automatically apply 50% brake the minute you touch them. So there's actually a link you have to download to get rid of, I guess, some old files that come with the drivers for the pedals. You got to go to the Logitech website, and it just reinstalls a config file, and my brakes are back to normal. Flaps 2. Let's get those flaps out. Beautiful sounds. Wow. Wouldn't call that too beautiful. It was pretty quiet in my opinion. We'll come up top here. We'll make sure beacon light should have been on. So strobe inspection light. So beacon light comes on prior to engine start. Strobe inspection light should have been on, or will come on once we hit the runway. APU is off. We'll make sure it's shutting down. It's still showing 100%. This should die down in a second. APU is off. Stand by, ladies and gents. I'm just trying to turn on my SimLink here for Navigraph. It's not working. There we go. Fantastic. We're up and running. Let's go. Let's open up Navigraph here. We'll have a look at our departure. Basically, runway heading to 1,000 feet. Make a left to heading 047. We'll vector ourselves out to Kedzie, and we'll follow on out to Zohan. Zohan is just over one of the Great Lakes. It says, unless otherwise assigned by ATC, climb heading 057 to 1,000. Climb left turn heading 047. Expect radar vectors to Kedzie. We'll maintain 5,000 feet. Coming into or departing out of Toronto, we'll vector ourselves, and then we will climb probably. What are we expecting? 340. That's the plan anyway. So anyway, taxi routing is going to be as followed. So we're here on the apron. We're going to follow the apron. Alpha. We're going to go Alpha. Hotel. Hotel across 15 left, 15 right. Hold short of Hotel 6. We'll depart on out of here. And yeah. Moment of truth. So park and brake off.
Takeoff, okay.
Okay. Perfect. Takeoff okay. Make sure all our lights are on. So I'll know it'll be a great flight with this aircraft if I hear the V-speeds and rotate and all that on departure. They have also tweaked some of the sounds. Definitely sounds a lot more different than the previous update. There's going to be a hot fix coming out on Tuesday for this aircraft. We'll see what they fix. Some of the reported bugs that they say they fixed, I'm experiencing in this update. So we'll see what happens. We'll probably... So after this flight, we are going back into Australia. I believe I have 2 more flights scheduled. And then we'll be back in North America. It's been a while. We are in North America now, but we'll be back for sure. Probably flying this bird around. We'll see. Hopefully they can fix some of the livery that I want fixed. Would be nice, you know, would be nice to be flying out of Pearson Airport in the Air Canada E-175, but, you know, shit happens. It is what it is. Beautiful Air Canada hangar off to our right there. I'll go ahead and open up some performance problems there when panning around in the camera. It's all smooth now. 30, 40-ish FPS. It's not too bad. Flight Tampa does need to update this airport, in my opinion. It's been a while. Would be nice. Would be nice. The weather in Minneapolis is going to be pretty spicy. I know the winds were gusting 25. We had a slight crosswind. I think it was 250 at 15, gusting 25 at the time when I did the practice flight. So, yeah, I spent a lot of my time trying to figure out what was going on with the aircraft. This video should have been done by now, but it is what it is. I'm trying to hit my deadlines when I tell the community I want to put up a flight and a video for you guys. I want to, you know, lately I've been kind of slacking with when they come out, but this giveaway video has to go out Monday. November 12th, I believe, or November 13th. Make sure we get that out. Giveaways are an important part of this channel. One lucky winner for sure is going to love this aircraft. Again, it's going to be... I'm purchasing the aircraft off of Sim Market. I've done gift voucher giveaways before from Sim Market. It's just easy to kind of deal with transferring of things. So, we're gonna do the giveaway from Sim Market, not by Sim Markets, from myself. What I would need from the winner is you need to snap a screenshot of your YouTube dashboard just so I know it's you. I don't want to give out the aircraft to the wrong person, so you'll snap that picture. We've done it 4 times in the past, no problem. I will email you the aircraft via Sim Market the minute that I get that information from the winner. And then you'll be on your way. If you haven't purchased this aircraft, or sorry, if you don't know how to install the aircraft, I believe you're going to get the ID code or the product key code from Sim Market, and you'll use that to download it on the Aerosoft app. So you need to have that app installed to your computer. That's where you'll also do all your updates as well with this aircraft. Every update that comes out, at the time they were doing it every 2 weeks, they're now doing it every month. You do all the updates from the Aerosoft app. Hopefully I got that all figured out and covered. Don't worry if, to whoever the winner is, if you need some help with the installation, you can just most definitely shoot me an email. I've had some problems before with the gift vouchers. One person could not receive they weren't receiving the gift voucher, so we were able to troubleshoot that, get that out of the way ASAP. says we're doing about 23 knots. That's, doesn't feel like it. It's currently live weather. One thing I'm going to check, I've also been having problems with online functionality. And see, I knew to check it. I wonder if this has something to do with my... antivirus or something. I'm not sure, but I've been noticing that lately. It could be a Microsoft Flightsim server problem. Just want to make sure it shows us online. I think that's just for multiplayer. I'm not sure. Now, I'm curious to see how this aircraft takes off compared to the E-175. Definitely the E-175 felt different. Again, flight model. Flight model is fantastic. Systems were lacking. That's all I have to say, but flight model, fantastic. You know who I want to see fly this aircraft? I want to see Captain Canada fly this aircraft. That's what I want to see. I think his channel would most definitely, you know, he already has a shit ton of subscribers and followers, and he's got a massive community, him being one of the OGs. But having this aircraft in your community definitely opens up more gateways. And I think, you know, he's the type of simmer that wants a 90-95% completed aircraft prior to flying. You know, he's into all the systems and flight model and all that. But, you know, if I want to compare this aircraft to something, I'd compare it to maybe the ATR. ATR, you know, it does have VNAV, I guess, or it's got a top-up descent marker, but it wasn't the best, you know. And yeah, I think he would love this flight model. If you guys watch Captain Canada, go ahead and next time you watch him on his live stream, just try to push him to fly this aircraft. I think he'll have a lot of fun with it. I know it's $40, 40 US dollars. If you convert that to CAD, who knows? You know, I'll even, for the sake of it, I'll even give him one. I don't care. I mean, I'm sure he's, you know, more than able to purchase the aircraft, but, or maybe he's just not interested in the aircraft yet. I don't know. But I want to definitely see him fly this aircraft. I think he'll be surprised at how much fun he'll have taking this thing on a takeoff and on a, you know, on an approach, landing at an airport. I think, you know, he flies into LaGuardia a lot. You know, I could see him taking this aircraft from Toronto to LaGuardia frequently and flying there. Anyway, let's start slowing this aircraft down. We are speeding up a little too much here. We are hitting the runway now, so we're gonna go ahead. Strobe lights, inspection lights can come on. How can I forget the landing lights? Again, we're going to take off. Runway heading 057 at 1,000 feet. We'll start our left-hand turn to runway 047. Slant us up. And the brakes feel so much better. Fantastic. Alright. Throttle's up. 40%, ladies and gents. Let's get on out of here, shall we? Stabilized. And throttle's up 60%. All throttle should take in. Don't worry about that noise. A little bit of nose down pressure. knots checked. It's one thing I didn't have in the Air Canada E-175. So we'll definitely get our rotation speed. Positive rate of climb. Gear going up. Get the rudders back in. Cannot select heading mode yet. We'll select it now. Or we'll go flight level change. And then heading mode. Above 1,000 feet, we're going to go ahead 047. we'll start bugging up. 210 on the speed. Beautiful. And we'll go ahead, flaps 1. See if I can get a view here for you guys. There's Woodbine Racetrack, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll go ahead and flaps up. $34,000 feet is set, and then we're going to go nav. And then we'll start our left-hand turn to our first waypoint. Try to follow that flight director there. Bug up 250. So we got that cock jumping around again. I could feel it, or I could see it. I don't know if they're trying to simulate turbulence or what, but it's definitely one of the most annoying things that we're gonna find on this flight. If you go to your camera, I'll show you once we make this left-hand turn here. I'm still hand flying, by the way. Coming up on 9,000 feet. We'll put the autopilot on. Let the aircraft do its thing. Nose lights, taxi lights can come off, and we'll go ahead 10,000 feet. We'll bug up 290. So you can see the camera shaking. I believe this might be a bug with the aircraft. You'll see your zoom level. This is a bug. This zoom level will start to flicker. Like the aircraft, like the camera right now was zooming in and zooming out. Definitely, that needs to get addressed. This is probably what they're trying to simulate on takeoff. I believe they wanted to simulate some ground effects on takeoff. Nevertheless, that was a beautiful departure coming out of Toronto. Pearson. Airport's over here. As you can see the two runways, runway 15 left, 15 right. Those runways don't get used too often. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's have a look at the right side window. All is looking well. Let's go ahead and clear some of these things here. So we have some nav aids and some airports. We just clear all that. Weather will turn on. TCAS should be turned on, even though we're not really on a VATSIM network. TCAS being on is fine. Beautiful. So yeah, again, flight model looks great. One of their biggest things that they've added was the manifesting sending off the manifest over to the MiG-2. It only applies to this first officer MiG-2. Doesn't put any cruise winds in. It's just more the fuel and weight with the cruise and maybe some V speeds. I believe they've also fixed the GPU not showing when connected, when using GSX. I can agree, or I can firmly say same problem with this update. And the versions here 0.9.19. Hopefully that'll be a hot fix. Now you can really see the cockpit shaking around. So 18,000 feet, standard pressure set. Ladies and gents, I'll take this flight up 34,000 feet, and I'll catch y'all on the descent into Minneapolis. We're expecting runway 30 left. Got about another hour and 40 minutes left of this flight, so anything can change, but we'll see you there. Peace! What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the second half of the video. Currently on the descent to Minneapolis. We have changed runways. We are expecting runway 30 right coming into Minneapolis. The reason for the runway change is strictly less taxiing time. We are expecting, I think it's gate Charlie 13. And it's a much shorter taxi coming off of runway 30 right rather than 30 left. But anyway, we're descending down to 7,000 feet. Once we hit, I think it's German, we got to be at 280 on the speed. I'll start winding that back now. And we'll quickly have a look at our approach briefing, just so we understand what we're doing. So we're on the Muscle 3 RNAV arrival into Minneapolis for runway 30 right. We're just coming up to German. We've got to be above 22,000 for 280 knots. Right now we're just passing 27,000 feet, so everything should look fine. We have some speed restraints, some altitude restraints. We got to be at 7,000 by Croix at 230, and then we're going to come onto the approach for 30 right. And basically we're going to come from Giku, and then we're going to have a nice 45 degree vector for final approach. Weather information. The winds are 270 at 8, visibility 10, temperature 12, dew point -2, humidity 38%, altimeter 30.13. So let's take that information. Let's come down into the McDo to the landing init tab, and let's get all that sorted. Over landing init tab here. Runway heading, final approach course 301. 12 degrees, much warmer in Minneapolis than it is here in Toronto at the moment. We're going to just cycle the landing flap 5, winds 270 at 8. And that'll give us our V speeds for our approach. Pretty standard. Auto brake set to low, again 7,000 feet. And you can still see the cockpit kind of bumping around here. Let me show you what I was talking about when you come to the camera. You can see the zoom levels flickering, and this is a bug with this aircraft at the moment. In both aircrafts, the 170, 175s, doesn't matter. You know, hopefully that gets addressed sooner rather than later. We don't want to see that in the next videos or so. About an hour and 30 minutes into the flight, let's have a look at some wonderful views here coming into Minnesota. First time coming in here, and I've never actually done an arrival to Minneapolis, so I guess perfect time for Flightsim Studios to put out this airport. Still waiting on San Francisco, don't know when that's coming out, but Minneapolis is another great airport to fly into. Again, Flightsim Studios does fantastic, high quality airport sceneries for the sim. You can get their stuff. I think I got it off of Sim Market. I believe it was like 28 USD, well 22 a euro. It's looking really clear out here. I just want to make sure live weather is active. I'm going to quickly double check. We are online. Okay, it's just super really clear skies here. It's actually showing clear if you read the METAR report, so that's good. And again, if you're enjoying the video, everybody, if you're enjoying the content that I put out, smash down that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Coming up on muscle, we got to be above 17,000 feet, which I think we're going to be fine. But yeah, giveaway happening momentarily. Once we get to our gate, we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. One thing I want to note that I don't really, I've never mentioned in any of my giveaway videos. So I've already kind of got the giveaway set up. I've generated 18 comments or 20 comments from the comment section in that video. Somebody tonight, as I was doing this flight, decided to spam 30 plus comments into that video. I'll tell you right now, for those who are new to the channel, if you dare to do that, all your comments are just going to get deleted, and you will not be entered into any giveaways that happens on the channel. I'll most likely even block you from the channel as well, so no point in wasting your time. We're not stupid over here at Flightsim Gaming, so yeah, just don't do that. That's not cool to do. So those messages got deleted. We don't have to worry about that. And you can see the cockpit kind of stabilizes and then unstabilizes. It's kind of weird. If you come up to the outside view, you're not going to see any of that bobbing around. Definitely something wrong with inside here. Coming up on standard. Coming up on standard pressure here. We'll change our altimeter to 3013. And I'll go ahead and just flip it over now. Just to get things ready. .3013 is set. That screen there is a little slow, a little glitchy. Not too worried about that. I have my minimum set. I didn't mention 1070. I believe it's actually 1072 for this approach. Can't do increments of 1, so 1070 will work beautifully fine. This bobbing around is making me nauseous. I hope they definitely fix this in the hot fix. Very hard to it's not really hard to reach out to Flightsim Studio. Very hard to find any forums for this aircraft. They did send me a link for their Discord. For whatever reason, the Discord link is not working. It says it's invalid or is no longer available, which would be ideal to find some forums about the aircraft in its current state and any bugs that this aircraft may have. Bake's got to be above 12,000. Aircraft's descending beautifully. Again, there's no VNAV in here, so you kind of have to use your judgment to determine top of descent. SimBrief does it a little bit later. It does show a top of descent marker in the SimBrief flight plan that you have filed, but I believe you would have to go to flight level change if you want to descent with the SimBrief one, because it's definitely much later in the flight plan than what I currently did in this one. And it's usually the case too. It's like, I would say 50 nautical miles, 40 nautical miles after when I, decide to descend. So it's not really ideal. do your calculations here, determine here the times of where you're going to be and the time of where you need to be, you know, at the ILS, to kind of figure that out. Anyway, enough chit-chatting here. Let's look at some beautiful views here. No snow up here at the moment. I know Winnipeg got some snow. Winnipeg is, I don't think, too far from Minneapolis. But one thing I do want to purchase, I thought I had it, but AccuSeasons I don't have. You can see the scenery down there is looking a little green. That might be some snow out here. I don't know what that is. That could be some snow. Anyway. Come back on the vertical speed there, 1,500 feet per minute, more than enough. Still bopping and weaving here. Should be starting our left turn. There we go. Always a little skeptical of this flight plan here. Doesn't always follow it correctly, but looks like it's doing a fantastic job. On my practice flight, it followed it no problem. So we got another speed restraint coming up. At Craw, we got to be at 230, but that's when we hit 7,000 feet. So we'll actually start winding back our speed. We'll go 250. 10,000 feet coming up. Make sure we hit all our lights on. Fantastic. Just to confirm, final approach speed will be 138. We might go +5 on that, so about 143. Always make sure to sync our heading. We're good pilots, that's what we want to do. We'll shallow out the descent here. 1,000 feet per minute. But yeah, I had mentioned while we were taxiing back in Toronto, I want to see Captain Canada take on this plane. I have a weird feeling he's going to enjoy it more than he says he won't. So for those of you viewing this channel, try to convince him to get this aircraft. I think he'll like it. Weirdly enough. I know he's all about systems, you know, as well as a great flight model, but I think, now that I'm thinking about it, to compare which one would be better, a better flight model or working systems, I'm sure a lot of people would say working systems, but for those who like to hand fly, airliners, a flight model is super ideal. Super ideal. Coming up on 7,000, so that beep there was to let us know we're 1,000 to go. And I just want to confirm, Craw is the only one, yes, that we have to be at 230. We got some time. We can maintain 250. Beautiful sounds with the aircraft. Unsure if this is what this aircraft sounds like, but definitely sound seems to be a thing for Flightsim Studios, and they never disappoint. Come back in here, just monitor the flight. Always got to monitor the flight with this, especially sometimes how broken it can be. We're going to descend down to 3,000 feet. Not yet. That's where we need to be to capture the glide slope. So crawl is coming up next. We're going to go ahead. Bug down 230. This is kind of where this aircraft lacks when it's flying this approach here. So I don't know what's going to happen once we hit Giku, but we'll find out. 230 on the speed set. And we gotta still be at 7,000 at Giku, but at 210. So it says mandatory 7,000. Actually, on this approach, it doesn't have a speed restraint. But we'll get down to 210. And the airport is somewhere out in the distance. Out there. Had a little frame drop there. Went down to 35 FPS. Looked like there was a little bit of a lag. Alright, so the aircraft is following a lot better than I thought it would. We'll start descending down. Well, actually, we'll go at 1,000 feet per minute. So Sam's says it's gonna be at 4,000. Jacko for 3,000. The flight plan kind of broke there. Hopefully, we go to Sam's at no issues. Can't guarantee it. But we shall wait. If you know what river this is, drop a comment down below. I'm curious to know. Curious to know where this flows from and to. Pretty cool. Microsoft Flight Sim has come a long way with their photogrammetry in the last year or so. Very promising simulator. A little disappointed that they got MSFS 2024 or 2024 coming out. I hope that doesn't deter from them continuing to, you know, build this simulator. Still unsure if I'm going to purchase that one or not. $18 miles out from Minneapolis. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Wow, you can really pronounce that incorrectly. So we'll wait for the aircraft to do a turn here, which it's doing. Beautiful. And then we'll go approach mode. We'll watch the localizer come in. Final approach course 301. We'll maintain the speed. The aircraft can slow down pretty quick, so we're probably going to overshoot this approach too. Let's see what happens here. Glide slope coming in. Waiting on Yoke. Also, the last time I flew this, the glide slope was frozen. Let's see what happens, ladies and gents. Let's see. See the airport right out there. Yoke's not moving. I think we're still good though. And there she goes. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll go flaps 1. Bug down to 190. As I try to scroll the speed down. I get a little messed up there. We'll stay at 3,000. 190 on the speed coming up. So Yoke is captured, waiting for glide. We've overshot it as I had anticipated that this aircraft does. It's hunting for it again. They gotta fix that. Still hunting. Probably best to just, I guess, follow nav until you're pretty much on final. So we're tuned for Yoke 1. Localizer is pretty much established here. Waiting for glide slope. It should be coming in. We're going to have to watch out for that. We're about 10 miles out, so we're good on our speed. Go flaps 2. Bug down 170. And glide slopes coming in. We'll quickly brief our missed approach here. So it says climb to 1300 and climb right turn 3000 direct the Minneapolis VOR. So, or sorry, direct the Golf Echo Papa VOR. And glide slope should be coming in, so we're going to keep 3,000 feet. And there's glide slope. Come back up top here. We turn the rest of our lights on. 7 miles out. We can go ahead. Flaps 3. We'll maintain 170 until 5. And we're going 143 on the speed. And we're going to go ahead. Flaps 5. I always get confused. I'm watching this here. Alright. We got gear down 3 green. Flaps are set. 1,400 feet above the runway. Everything's looking fantastic. We got a beautiful headwind. 34 knots. The winds are supposed to be 260 at 9. So hopefully that'll calm down a little bit. Beautiful clear sunset evening here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 1,000 check. Gonna go ahead and take the aircraft. And throttles. And I have control. The winds are slowing down a little bit. 2 whites, 2 reds. Looking good on the approach. We're slowing down a little bit. Go ahead and increase that speed. We need 143 on the speed. And the wind's coming back beautifully. You got a 12. It's like a 12 knot headwind at the moment. Trim out the aircraft. That was a little bit of too much trim there. Continue. Showing us a little high. Let's get her back down. Keep it legal. Nose down, reverse out. Get a little squirrely there on the runway. $70 knots check. Ladies and gents, welcome down Minneapolis. Manual throttle, sorry, manual braking. And we're gonna go ahead and vacate here. Not too shabby. Almost definitely take that. I don't fly this aircraft too often. Charlie 13. Nope. And we're going Delta. Beautiful, ladies and gents. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. Little squirrely with the rudder there. Definitely feels different with the rudder, for sure. Go ahead, fire up the APU. I'm not actually sure when we fire up the APU in this aircraft. If it's something you do right off of it's something you do right off of coming off of the runway there. We are looking for Charlie 13. So we're on Papa right now. We're actually going to go ahead and we're going to turn here to get off of Papa. We want to be on Quebec. Because our gates are actually going to be in front of us. Beautiful. You know, with each and every update, this aircraft gets better and better and better. Flight model, I mean, taking off and landing this thing feels incredible. Feels incredible. We got to keep the speed down here. We are looking for Charlie 13. I think that's going to be us right here. I don't see any numbers here. We actually might be going down a little bit further. I see some stuff up there. 30 FPS, currently 37. It varies at this airport, but beautiful. Beautiful scenery here done by Flightsim Studios. And what do we have here? We have Charlie 6, Charlie 7, Charlie 8. That's where we need to go. Up here, this aircraft also likes to taxi pretty quick. Make sure we kill flight director. Not exactly sure where I need to go. I think it's right here. So what we can do is start making our turn. And this is Charlie 13. Fantastic. Try to get us a nice, close to perfect parking as we can. Market break going on. Looks like APU is on. We'll go ahead and we'll kill engine 1, engine number 2. Engines are shutting down. Taxi lights can come off. They should have been off already. I don't know what the actual flows are for the shutdown. With the APU being on, we'll make sure that we do our own thing here. Perfect. All that's good. Come over to GSX. We request deboarding. Let's make sure GSX. So I think Flightsim Studios had mentioned something about not using GSX for their airports. Let's kind of see what happens here. Come over to ground. Let's open up our doors here. Fantastic. Beautiful. What a nice shot here of this terminal here. It's terminal, I believe it's terminal 1. But anyway, ladies and gents, Minneapolis, Minnesota, finally here. Passenger deboarding has started, so you know what that means. Had to readjust my seat there. We're going to go ahead and do the giveaway. We are giving away the Flightsim Studio E-Jets, E-170 shown here. Comes with the E-175. Let's come up here. So, again, in order to enter yourself into the giveaway, you had to drop a comment and be subscribed to the channel. You had to drop a comment in a video that I had picked to be the giveaway video. And I used this website. I attached the link in my video. It loads all the comments. Doesn't include my comments, obviously, just loads your comments. I'll pick a winner. We'll see who it is. For the winner, you must reach out to me. I used to say reach out to me within 24 hours, but I'm going to let it go on a little bit longer because some of you can't reach out within 24 hours. So we'll give it, let's say, by the end of the week. Worst case, we'll just do a re-roll. But anyway, snap a screenshot of your YouTube dashboard. Shoot me an email. And I'll get that aircraft or the set of aircrafts over to you as soon as I can. Sometimes I might take some time to respond. I do work. I have a regular job that I do. I'm a mechanic, a lead tech at a busy Honda dealership. So don't feel the type of way if I don't reach out to you right away. It will definitely be by the end of the day at the latest. Anyway, Enough yapping. Let's go ahead and pick a winner. Well, Mr. Moo, you unfortunately cannot win. Wow, that's crazy that happened. So for you guys probably don't know this, Mr. Moo is actually one of my good buddies from work. His name's Ryan. He huge supporter of the channel. Just started, watching my stuff not too long ago. He had no idea I was doing this. Mr. Moo, you can't win, buddy. You do not have Microsoft Flight Simulator, so that's crazy that happened. But anyway, let's go ahead and pick another winner, ladies and gents. Taz Flyer, such a great flight. I'm from Tasmania and love seeing people fly into our island. Taz Flyer, you are the winner of the Flightsim Studios E-Jets. Reach out to me to claim your prize. If you don't want it, let me know. Some people comment on this, and I don't even know if they actually fly in the simulator or not. But reach out to me, and we will get that copy of the aircrafts sent to you ASAP. Taz Flyer, thank you for being or contributing to this channel, like many others do. I greatly appreciate that, and looking forward to hearing from you, my friend, and for everybody else. It's not the end of giveaways. We're going to continue to do giveaways on this channel. Definitely not something that we're just going to stop here, but hey, we might re-roll this in a week or so. Who knows? I'm probably not going to do another video of another giveaway. I'll probably just do this, snap a picture of this, and put it on my community tab or something. But yeah, that's about it, ladies and gents. Let's go ahead and bring up the aircraft again, Mr. Moo. I love you. I'll see you at work tomorrow. Continue what you're doing at work. You're doing a fantastic job. You know, Mr. Moo was like 98, 99% CXI satisfaction rate, which is like incredible, unheard of. Basically, he's a service advisor at my dealership, and to achieve 99% of having a 99% satisfied customer experience for a whole month is just astronomical numbers. You don't hear about these things. But anyway, brother, I'll see you at work. You know you can't win. We actually talked about this prior to this video dropping out, which is hella crazy. But anyway, Taz Flyer, we'll see you in a bit. To everybody else, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Drop a comment down below. I love everybody. Catch y'all in the next flight. We're back in Australia. A couple more flights, and then we're coming back over to North America. Catch y'all in the next video. Ladies and gents, peace and love. Peace.